Hi there. Today I'm reviewing two plays. One I'm recommending and one I'm not. I'll let you figure out which one. It'll be pretty obvious. The first one is a play at Remy Bumpo. Actually, I don't think it's there any longer. But remember the name. The title of the play is Hang, H-A-N-G. And remember it only to avoid seeing it. I guess I already told you which one I'm not recommending. And here's the reason I'm not recommending it. The play begins, often writers like to hold things back. They think that by holding things back, it will make the reader or the viewer want to continue on. But this playwright holds back way too much so that you are I was so annoyed and aggravated and sitting there through, I don't know, half an hour, wondering what the hell is going on there. The play opens with three women on stage. Two women, it's apparently an industrial setting of some sort. And one of the women is sitting in a chair and she's annoyed and she's upset. You can tell this. And the other two women are questioning her or talking to her. And you get the feeling that maybe one is a counselor of some sort. I don't know. I was looking around during probably half an hour of the show to see if anybody else was as confused as I. They all seemed wrapped. I don't know. I think they were probably sleeping. But I was annoyed by the whole thing. But at some point you figure out what's going on. Or maybe I made it up. I don't know. But you understand that this woman is the victim of a crime, and I think that her family was killed. So these other two women are talking to her about this situation, and apparently she has to decide the method of death for the perpetrator of the crime. Really? So it gets to a certain point where, as if not knowing what's going on isn't bad enough, it gets to a point where she begins asking them about methods of execution. She says, well, how does the firing squad work? Like there's a firing squad today? But they describe it in great detail. And then she says, well, what about lethal injection? And they describe that in great detail. What about electric chair? What about beheading? And they describe all of these in excruciating detail. Well, I'm sure they got to hanging at some point, since that is the name of the play. But I was so aggravated by that point, I just wanted to get the hell out of there. So I've done something I have never done before. I've often left at intermission. If I don't like something, I will not sit through a second act. But I have never in my life gotten up in the middle of a play. This one, though, there was no intermission. It was only 90 minutes. Thank God it was only 90 minutes. But I gained some courage because a woman in the third row got up, crossed right in front of the stage. It's a very small theater. She crossed right in front of the stage and left. That was very bold. And so I thought, hey, I can go up in the back of the theater. There was a row I could walk across, and I could go down some steps out the door. So it's not as though the actress didn't know that I did that, but it was less noticeable, I think. Anyway, I could not sit there any longer, and I got up and left. In the middle, not the middle, there probably wasn't 15 minutes left in the show, but it was awful. So it's no longer playing. You don't have to worry about seeing it, but make sure if it comes back, you remember this review. Okay, the second one was at Red Twist Theater, which is also a very small theater, even smaller than Remy Bumpo Theater. It is, this is Frost Nixon, and it's about, you maybe saw the movie, maybe you saw the play. I saw it on Broadway years ago, and with Frank Langella as Nixon. He was also in the movie. And it was really good. And I love Red Twist Theater. I love the productions they do. I've seen some great things there. And this was very good. It's a very interesting story, and it's about how Nixon and David Frost connect, and David Frost gets him to agree to do these TV interviews, which made David Frost famous and ruined Nixon, if he could be any more ruined, which he couldn't. But anyway. It's a good production, and as I said, it's a small theater, so it's a little difficult to see everything because there's audience on either side of the stage, but it's good enough, and they're very clever with their staging. Brian Perry, who's in the company at Red Twist, and I've seen him many times, he's very good as Nixon. And Jason Richards played David Frost, and he was good. The problem was that every time he came on stage, I was so distracted by his hair that it just took me out of the play. It was a really bad wig. And I need to tell Red Twist Theater, they have to raise some money for their wig budget because it was so bad and it's so distracting. Otherwise, it's an interesting play. It's well done. It's good performances all around. So I recommend Frost Nixon, and I think it's still there. And so go see it.